everyone. With me is my brother George, and he will be explaining the financial side of rentals.
Hi guys. Yes, one of the key elements to look for in rental property is cash flow, and will it cash flow the amount of money that you would like? And we use a certain model. What we do is we found that if you purchase a house for $75,000 and the rent is 1,000, then the cash flow it'll most likely cash flow in the $4,000 to $6,000 range, which is what we're looking for 6K a year. And it may be different for you, and you have to take those things into consideration. But usually when it comes to rentals, there are two kinds of rentals. There are the move-in ready and the fixer-upper homes. And what we look for is we try to find a fixer-upper home in a decent neighborhood, a neighborhood that may appreciate, and put some money into it. Typically, with our rentals, we have to put around $10,000 in to fix it up, and what we look for specifically is a rent of around $1,200, and we look for a family-sized home that's 3-2. Because if you go bigger, it might be harder to rent because bigger homes are usually more expensive. And a 3-2 is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So there'll be three beds and 2 baths, and maybe sometimes a bonus room. But those things are important. And I guess it's also coming down to finding what market segment you're going after, because some people they like to cater towards college students, and in that case you just need maybe a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. But we're looking to provide a place for families to stay, and yeah, and taking into consideration the cash flow and also vacancies. We use a certain model where which counts for a 1 to 2 month vacancy, and it'll still cash flow the 4 to 6K that we want.
Now, is there a special form that you use to determine the financial side of this, or what do you like to use?
Yes, and like I said, we have a little form that determines the vacancies, but also determines the rate of return of our investment, the cash flow per year. We have the typical mortgage, the interest, and all those things, because that's another thing that you want to take into consideration: the mortgage and the mortgage payments, and making it work, because you always want to have the rent higher than the mortgage payment, for sure.
And what is this financial sheet called?
Well, we call it we call it the Hiawatha document. I think we just made that up, but
and I'll be including this in the link below.
It's very informative. But yes, always doing your homework when it comes to getting a rental property. Don't just jump into it, because you might find that the neighborhood isn't that great, the rent isn't that great, the renters aren't that great. So talk about what? Rent-A-Meter, yes. That is actually a website that can help you determine the rent for a area. And there's also Trulia and Zillow, where you can look at the crime rates, and also it'll show you if there's any schools in the area, churches, and because those are also things to consider. Is the house that you're buying in an area that provides for the needs of your renter? So taking that into consideration as well.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, and stay tuned.